Today the Holy Church rejoices to remember Bernard of Clairvaux, hymn writer and theologian. Listen to this from Celebrating the Saints by William Whedon. Bernard is one of the beloved saints of the Church from the Middle Ages. He was born in 1090 to a noble family in Burgundy, France. Yet at the age of 22, he chose to turn his back on the path of wealth and power. As many would before and after him, he became a monk. Bernard asked admittance to the monastery of Citeaux in the Cistercian order. This monastery was devoted to a strict observance of the rule of Saint Benedict. After only 2 or so years there, Bernard was dispatched to form a new monastery at Clairvaux. The monastery's founding was quite trying. Benedict's strictness resulted in damaged health, and it finally took intervention from his friends to have Bernard reconsider the extreme asceticism he was enjoining. The monastery then grew by leaps and bounds. His typically comforting, gospel-drenched preaching stood at times in tension with the blindness of the age. He could preach the sweet comfort of the blood of Christ and then urge the recruits to the Second Crusade to atone their sin and appease God's wrath by bloodying their swords. There is in all of this a parallel with Martin Luther. Though he was not a noble, when he chose the monastery against his parents' will, he chose the toughest one. He ruined his health as a monk with his austere practices. He had a fire of love when he preached that focused upon Christ and Him crucified. He brought comfort to the troubled conscience through Christ's loving sacrifice. Luther wrote hymns that celebrated his Lord. And while he could write the most beautiful and comforting words, he also was capable of spewing out horrific things against the Jews and against the peasants at their revolt. Both men were called upon by civil authorities to help with various political troubles. Both were finally men who were indeed earthen vessels, through whom God delighted to give His church great treasures. We do not commemorate any of the saints because they were perfect. We commemorate them because they were forgiven, and through them God has given us a mirror of His grace. Amen.